Yes.
Perfect.
So once again, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our fourth session of the administrative training in the framework of the Ibtikar Project. We're very happy to see you again and again every Thursday. And today with us, we have the colleagues from Bogazici University, and I will speak about the Technology Transfer Office and the International Affairs Office at their university. So I'm very happy to have today our own Zeynep, which is a very good friend of the project and is a very familiar face for us. I'm very happy to have you, Zeynep, and a new colleague from the Technology Transfer Office, indeed, which is Volkan Özgüz. So Zeynep, I will leave you the floor to introduce the session, and then we will be happy to hear from you.
Thank you very much. It's great. I see some familiar faces. Some of you turned your pictures off, but it's great, you know. It was good to have you here in Istanbul. Most of you, well, I guess most of you were here. Today, we're going to work on something slightly different. We've been talking about research so far, how we did research at Boğaziçi University. Now I've got colleagues from two different departments or offices, I should say. One of them is the Technology Transfer Office, and I have no idea how they work. So I've got Dr. Volkan Özgüz, who's going to be giving you the talk. Hello, Volkan, and it's good to have you with us. And also of the International Affairs Office, which they call themselves International Office in short. And I also have two colleagues from there. They helped me out with the preparation of the presentation. I'm going to be the one talking about the office, but Ece Toker, you might have met her when you were in Istanbul. She joined us on a couple of meetings. Ece and Mesut Gürdai somewhere, yeah, hello. Mesut, in case we've got, or you've got questions, they will be here joining us with the International Office questions, okay? So, you know, let's get started with the Technology Transfer Office, and thank you, Dr. Özgüz. Okay.
Good morning, everyone, again. I am happy to share with some thoughts on technology transfer in general, taking the Boğaziçi University as an example, and also a few notes about technology transfer in Turkey, and I'll try to conclude with general remarks about the technology transfer in general. So can I use the screen right now, Martina?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see. Do you see this chart right now? All right?
Yes.
Actually, we see your next slide as well. Can you get rid of that?
Oh, let me see. Yeah.
That's better. Martina, we use the previous template.
Yes, that's okay. No problem.
Okay.
Sometimes this happens. Let me see. I had to select something instead of view.
No, you were okay. Go back.
Okay.
Make it big, and then go to the PowerPoint presentation if you want.
Yeah, when I do it, it shows you the next slide, I guess, which I don't.
Okay, so
like. Let me try once more.
That's all right.
So still the same.
You're right. Okay.
I will still see the next.
Yeah,
slide.
we don't want that. We prefer the other
back.
one, right? Okay.
Okay. So it's much better, isn't it, this way?
Yes.
I apologize. There is a setting which I need to do later on. Okay. Well, my name is Volkan Özgüz. I am the manager of the technology transfer at Boğaziçi University. The technology transfer is a very complicated topic, and it's relatively new in Turkey. Indeed, it's about 10 years old right now at Boğaziçi University. The Boğaziçi University office has been started in December 2012. It's a part of the university. It was a unit of the university. Later on in Turkey, they said technology transfer from academia to industry is very important. They tried to regulate the structure of the offices, technology transfer offices. There was a mandate in 2017, and Boğaziçi University was one of the very early follower of that mandate and transformed itself into an incorporation. So we are officially right now an corporate 100% owned by a public university, acting on behalf of the public university for the technology transfer of industrial research and development projects, intellectual property rights, and entrepreneurship. We have full legal and financial responsibility for all these processes, and we have a board of directors like any regular corporation, and they are all the rector, vice rector, 6 faculty members from different departments of the university. They are part of the governing board right now. Just a brief note on this technology transfer structures in Turkey. Not all of them are incorporated. If you look at that, unfortunately, this chart is in Turkish, this part of this chart, but there are right now 5 different types of technology transfer offices in Turkey. They are either part of a unit of the university or unit as a technology development part of the management company of the technology development part, or they are corporation under the Higher Education Council mandate, like Boğaziçi University, or they are a separate corporation within the Technopark management company, or they are a corporation where university is only a partial shareholder. We are fully owned by Boğaziçi University. This kind of complicated structure is because of some of the legal issues and some of the vision in Turkish higher education system. But typical slide with the mission and vision. The mission is to transfer the scientific technological knowledge into an economical and social benefit. And our vision is to be the pioneering and leading technology transfer office in Turkey, because we believe that we have added institutional value. Boğaziçi University has one of the strongest brand name as a university in Turkey, and we have a small team, but we have a large amount of management experience and past practices from our previous institutions. What are our values? Well, we take pride of participatory management, and you're gonna see it. We're professional management staff. I'm coming from industry. I started several technology centers in Turkey since 2010, and before that, I had my own high-tech company for about 15 years in United States, and before that, I was an academician at University of California, San Diego. So most of us in the office have similar backgrounds, one foot on the academia, one foot in the industry, and also directly part of the technology transfer and research and development type of activities. We're a small unit, you're gonna see it, but we're using lots of partnership for different solutions. And since it is a standalone unit, outside of the university with no financial ties with the university, we're operating as a revenue-oriented company, like a typical private company for the financial sustainability of the company. We have a flat organization, board of directors. I am here as a general manager. We have administrative and financial affairs, and we have grant programs, industry collaboration, intellectual property management, and entrepreneurship. There are only 1 or 2 persons in each boxes, but we have lots of external help in order to manage this, either through university units or through mentors or investors or patent lawyers and so on. They are our partners in this function of the office. That's the entire team. We are about 12, and we have only 1 or 2 persons in each of these boxes. So what is different at Boğaziçi University? Well, we operate as a platform. We take the input from projects with academic projects, either supported by public funds or private funds, and also by contracted research and development projects like here, with or share order or partners in this are academicians and industrial research and development managers. We take it through intellectual property right and entrepreneurship type of filters, and we try to send the result, provide the result to the general community as with some value added for potential social or economical impact. We also provide students some form of incubation and entrepreneurial services, not only to the academicians, but also to the students in this process, because several of our students have excellent background in research and development. They have very valuable ideas, and Boğaziçi University is one of the best sources for entrepreneurship in Turkey. Most of the unicorn type of companies in Turkey, they are graduates of Bosphorus University, they are founders. And so this is what I said earlier. The university's strength in information communication technologies, electrical and electronics, mechanical engineering, chemistry, life science, and economics. So we take this and then send it through that filter in order to provide services to the general community. Although we're divided into units like project management or grant management, industry collaboration, and so on, we operate as a whole because we're this process is not over the wall. We need to work day by day on the different aspects of this industrial project. So the industrial collaboration is at the center, but we provide awareness towards the university side or towards the industry side. We provide services for entrepreneurship. We also provide support for national and international projects, and then we take care of the intellectual property patent portfolio of the university. I'm going to go into the detail of all these processes as much as I can. So right now, taking cue from this, let's start with the national and international grant programs. What do we do for them? Well, we provide services at this level for grants, not industrial projects, but publicly funded grant, either national or international. We provide the calls to the academic community. We provide information days. During the submission of the proposals, we provide the budget. We support the researcher for finding partners and other collaborators. We use our past experience to make sure that they offer a good proposal to the agency, and we monitor the international completion of the bureaucracy within the university signature processes. Then we manage during the internal acceptance by the agency, whether it is European or Turkish agency. We take care of the process until all signature processes, external signature processes are taken care of. And then when it comes to the execution, since this type of project grants comes to the university directly, we take our hands off, but we provide monitoring services and we provide consultation for financial report preparation and also communicate with funding organizations to make sure that everything goes right. So these are like international grant programs that we support. There are some local grant programs that we support. TÜBİTAK is the Turkish Scientific and Technological Research Agency. They provide most of the funding in Turkey, either at pure academic or for collaboration with industry, for example, in the TADER. These are for collaboration in industry. This is for life sciences projects only, and this is for local development agency projects. So with this support, we provide both academics and researchers to develop innovation-focused projects. We believe we contribute to the economic growth by transferring these developed innovative products and technologies to the industry and society later on. And we also help the university develop international collaboration. Therefore, this type of meetings are highly useful for us. More people will meet internationally, more potential collaboration lies ahead for larger partnership. We also offer opportunities for the student to participate into the research projects and to gain experience by solving, by working on real-world problems, especially in industrial type of project. So we are a relatively young office. I would like to remind that the office started in 2018, roughly 5 years ago. It took some growing stages, but right now it is highly functional. We got our university first ERC projects, and you know, European ERC projects, they are highly valuable and highly competitive. We have right now in 1 year, 6 Horizon Europe projects. We got the second phase of Neurotech EU projects for European universities, and we managed the process for our university third coordinator projects for MSCA co-fund projects, and we have multiple TÜBİTAK and TÜSEP projects for international or university industry collaboration. Those are all within the last year in 2023. So now I switch to the industry collaboration. I apologize for the typo here. So for the industry collaboration, we provide similar things, but in a different flavor for the for the public like grant type of projects. This in this area, these are projects that are funded directly by the resources of the company, no public resources involved. Therefore, it has to provide some value to the company too. But our goal is the same, to transfer the scientific potential in the university by transferring it to the industry. And for this role, what we do, we bring together research and development activities of the researchers with the industry. We make industry days, we do one-to-one matchmaking, and we also do all the agreement type of process. Since unlike the grant, in this case, each collaboration project requires slightly different agreement, because the industry requests both legal and financial may be different in each case. But no matter what, we try to do value-added, economically beneficial commercialization effort with the industry by making sure that we protect the rights of the university researcher and also the rights of the university by itself. So this is a matchmaking, a bridge activity between research and industry. We try to match as much as we can the profile of the researcher and their research interest with the interest of the industry, which is not easy. We have to understand both sides, and in order for that, we have to understand the language of both sides. Most of us, I didn't go into that detail, but they are coming from engineering or scientific backgrounds. We have environmental engineer in our offices, we have chemical engineer in our offices, electrical engineer, patent lawyers. You may say, how do you do it with only 10, 12 people? But like I said, we have one in each area. They come from different backgrounds. We try to provide as much as we can project management after the agreement is signed. And also in this particular process, Turkish government, in order to promote collaboration between academia and industry, they provide lots of incentives, but there are complicated legal infrastructure in these incentives. We try to understand that and communicate it this both to the academic side and also to the industry side. And we do contract negotiation while we're trying to keep a balanced financial and intellectual property rights, both on the side of the university and on the side of the industry, to be fair to both sides. We're relatively successful. Like I said, in 2018, we started with some minor, very small amount. Don't worry about the Turkish lira, it looks large, but the USD may be a better indication in terms of growth of the industrial projects in our university. We tried to double it practically from year to year in the last 2-3 years, and we're relatively successful in that. And how do we do that? First of all, being a corporation, how? Because we operate relatively freely, independent from the university's public bureaucracy. We focus on large projects, we focus on international projects, we focus on some verticals. We're a small office, we cannot cover all sectors, but we selected defense, health, sustainable energy, and digital transformation as focus for our areas. And also this focus help us not only increase the level of the project, the total budget, total revenue coming from these projects, but also it helps us for the financial sustainability of the technology transfer offices, because we don't get direct financial aid from the university. We have to provide our own financial resources, and most of it comes from the part, from a small part that we take over this total budget. So more budgets we can provide to the university researchers, more technology transfer office can be financially sustainable and also potentially grow in terms of personnel. So there's a large list of industries. You can see some familiar logos, both especially international logos here. I'm not going to go too much into the details. But next, I'm going to talk about intellectual property rights. That is something like the grants support we offer as a service to the university. We don't get any financial revenue from that as an office. But what we do here, we provide the researcher to establish their innovative ideas into patents, know-how, or trade secrets that can be valuable later on, not only for the university, but also for the academician, and also for the through the transfer for the receiving side, be it as industry or be it a different form in the society. So that's our aim at the intellectual property right. What we do, we assess the potential idea for invention. We conduct the invention disclosure form processes, and we work with the patent lawyers, external lawyers, to make sure that a good patent application is written. And also we work with potential licensees that can use this intellectual property as early on through the application process. Another service we do, we provide we do university trademarks management. As I said, Boğaziçi University takes pride for being a very big name, the brand name in Turkey, and there are several trademarks around that, and we make sure that they are protected as properly as possible. And I'm going to skip that. So far we have 94 patents, 56 of it are international patents. We have 3 triadic patents in 3 different zones in the world, and then both of them, they are either 1 or 2 foreign patents. Most of them are in the United States or in European community. They are being patented there. We have so far 22 patents licensed to 4 different companies in the form of patent families. This is something that the Turkish bureaucracy, Turkish government wants to do take the intellectual property from the university and transfer it to the companies. It worked quite well, but it doesn't generate that much revenue. I'm come to that later on. We had a very small license income in 2023. We have a bunch of pending application for future. We have a portfolio book that I can share. And then this is some of the cases for licensing that Voxizone, you can tell by the name, it was highly valuable during the COVID days. This is one of our main resources. There's another one. Both of them are in life sciences area. Like I said, one of the focus of the Boğaziçi University is in life sciences. So this company, RS Research, is a spin-off from the university research. And the main problem with all these patents or know-how is it takes years before they become a useful product. But in this case, RS Research was highly successful in raising money, in raising funds to grow the company, to grow the spin-off. This is from 2001. The first one, you can say close to $1 billion. It's in the same list. The last one was $12 million raised from the investors in 2001, which helped this company to grow and start it's a small drug formula, small drug molecule for cancer, and you're gonna see probably you're gonna see the company being more of a good name in the drug industry in the next 2 to 3 years. This was one of the best successful deep technology startups in Turkey. And we tried to help during the transfer. The most important part is to understand the value of the intellectual property, and it is not easy. So we're using European Patent Office guidance, or there is another platform in Turkey, Turkish University Industry Center Collaboration Platform, USIM. So we use their methodology in order to evaluate the value of our patent. It is not easy. It is relatively subjective, but again, we take pride being one of the best TTOs in Turkey to do this evaluation analysis. And the last part that I want to talk is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is taking these ideas coming from academicians or students of the university and launching them as a startup or spin-off. So this entrepreneurship process takes several stages: incubation, maturation, and acceleration. The services we provide here, we provide selection, evaluation, mentorship, and some form of commercialization services. In order to do that, TÜBİTAK, Turkish Scientific and Technology Council, has a program called BIG, which stands for Individual Entrepreneurship Support in Turkish. We're one of the age institutions. There are 20 institutions selected in Turkey in order to make these services as a interface between TÜBİTAK and potential entrepreneur. We are one of those 20 and one of the most successful one in Turkey. I'm gonna come to that later on. We do also incubation management. We operate 4 different incubation centers. One in some of them within Boğaziçi University premises, campuses, and one of them is in city center, along with one of the municipalities, is in collaboration with one of the municipalities, and another one on the different side of Bosphorus. If you come to Turkey, you may remember there is an Anatolian side and a European side. This one is in European side. This one is in Anatolian side. We manage those incubation centers, and in order to provide all the entrepreneurship in this incubation center for mentors, we provide them mentorship. We also provide, like I said earlier, exemption, management of exemption, which is a complex legal structure in Turkey. And we help the students also from the idea side all the ways to the directing them to the different entrepreneurship program, or providing them guidance to talk to the investor through announcement, seminar, and awareness type of days. We support companies for established in collaboration by acceleration, startup, very idea, company formation, some early stage, and then some acceleration where they need more funding. We try to match them with potential investors in the different levels of financial support. And this is about the Turkish individual entrepreneurship support program. Like I said, we are one of the 20 centers or institutions selected to become a gatekeeper for TÜBİTAK. The process works in such a way that potential entrepreneurs, they come to us, they provide their idea, we evaluate them, we make a selection. For the selected one, we provide some guidance to provide a proposal, a business plan to TÜBİTAK in order to get the fundings. And TÜBİTAK panel, independent panel, make the selection. We are relatively successful there. 1 out of 2 entrepreneurs we present to TÜBİTAK has been selected so far. We have one of the largest hit rate in Turkey for that one. So, and then again, it's an office which is only 5 years old. We started 20 business idea each year with 2 spin-off. Right now, last year we had 73 of potential business idea selected, and then 10 of them has gone into a startup mode within the last year. And this year, it's going to be about the same or slightly larger. And this is the long list of the startups so far, especially supported by either big program or through individual investors. And the last part is something, this expertise we like to share. We provide training and support to everyone. This one, okay. We offer seminars, customized educational packages. We provide experience sharing days to Technopark, the other TTOs, or to personal or institutional entrepreneurs. We do that because it provides an additional source of revenue for the TTO. We offer these services at the pre-incubation level, at incubation and beyond level, like startup law, pitch deck preparation, strategies, business plan preparation. We provide, if needed, we provide dedicated education topics like intellectual property right training and support, different parts of the independent intellectual property protection or strategies for licensing, innovation management system, and so on. And we also can make customized packages. For example, these are for, unfortunately, it's in Turkish, but these are for in health area, different regulations or different technical process, such as, for example, how to establish a GLP, the lab that can be certified, or how to minimize, for example, the impact, the carbon footprint, or how to get the carbon certification in a circular, sustainable economy type of support. So the list goes on and on. So with that, I think I am almost close to the end. Some concluding remark. One thing that I would like to make sure, sometimes when we hear that technology transfer offices, they have a mandate for commercialization. This is not exactly true. Transfer is a separate process than commercialization. Commercialization requires something past the technology transfer office. We're sitting between the university and the outside world, but the commercialization takes place in the outside world. So it's obvious that the commercialization function cannot be solely the responsibility of a technology transfer office. it is difficult. Commercialization strategy in health startup is completely different than the gaming startup, for example. And it requires more resources beyond the capability of a typical university technology transfer offices. And especially if it is like a deep tech idea, it is very complex and lengthy exercise. You may say, well, you can license the IP and for potential commercialization. That's not also an easy process, especially like a developing country such as Turkey, because the industrial sector, the management of administrative and legal processes, they are just being established. Therefore, at least within Turkey, there are not that many technology transfer offices that are successful in terms of licensing. They do lots of licensing agreements, but the revenue level is relatively large. So if you look into the future, technology transfer office, they are like a bridge. For the bridge to be successful, not only it has to be strong, but also it has to have value on both sides. This is our latest bridge from Bosphorus towards the northern side. If there is value on this side, and if there is some value on the other side, then the bridge serves a purpose. But let's say this is industry, this is academia. This bridge is needed, but we need to have a pull from industry, and we need to have a push from academia. Technology transfer offices, they are like technology miners. We mine some value, but unless someone takes it over and start working on it, this value, the economical impact of that value, no matter how much early initial pre-processing can be done by the technology transfer officer, it will not have a large economical impact. With that, I'll stop and I'll try to answer some questions if you have questions. So let me stop here and then maybe start the question session. And how much we do in time? Okay, great. So we have maybe 15 minutes left exactly for question and answer.
Thank you so much for the presentation. It was great. And I loved the conclusion with the image of the bridge. It was just a very effective metaphor of all your explanation. So I would like to encourage our colleagues, if there are any questions, they can type it in the chat or just raise their hand and take advantage of our speaker.
I'll look at that. I don't see any question in the chat, but if you have questions, you may just speak and I'll try to answer as much as I can. I went relatively fast in order to save some time, but right now we have 10-15 minutes left that we can use for further explanations.
Hello? I hear a voice, but I'm not sure whether it is a question.
Mohammed Ramadan seems to be talking.
Yeah.
Is there a question there? Can I ask something, Martina?
Sure, of course.
Is there a technology transfer office in any of the universities in Libya at the moment?
Well, they might be able to answer better than I do, but we know for sure that some of the university have created
It's
recently.
really broken. Maybe it's better to get it in writing into the chat.
Yeah, and I know for sure that in the framework of another European funded project, which ended about a few months ago, if I'm not wrong, some of the university opened a technology transfer office.
Yeah.
So it's quite a recent process, and it's
No,
not.
but all of them have it apparently. Chat answer.
Yeah, I don't think all of them, but most of them, all of them. Okay, yeah. So
perfect.
Yeah. And we had the chance also to hear a little bit about this work of the Technology Transfer Office from the colleagues from UTAG. So it's very nice also for us to see similarities and differences. It was a bit, the presentation from our colleagues from UTAG was more on how to communicate and the work of the Technology Transfer Office in the communication with the companies and with the industrial sector and startups and so on. And so it was interesting to see also how your university is dealing with the work of the office, and now as you have concluded your speech, how this bridges academia and industry.
Martina, the legal infrastructure in different countries are so different.
Yeah.
It is not very easy to take cue from different models and implement it within the country. For example, in US, it's completely different. In Europe, which is much closer to Turkey, I think the one that we take cue from is from Netherlands.
Okay.
The offices in the Netherlands, it looks very similar to what we like to operate. Not ideal for Turkey. Still, there is some legal differences. But if you want to take as a model, potentially or personally, I will take offices from different universities such as Twente, Radboud, universities from Netherlands as a model. I believe they provide a highly effective service for their communities. We are in close contact with them. We communicate on a almost monthly basis with different offices, especially through some of these European funded programs that we share. We all learn together.
Yeah.
And I think there's a question by
there is a question.
Ahmet Kalfala.
Our own Ahmad from the University of Zawiya. But we cannot hear you, Ahmad. Sorry, your microphone is muted.
Yes, now it's okay.
Yes.
Yes. Hello, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Martina, and everybody. Our colleague from Turkey, from Bogazici University, Professor Volkan. Thank you for your presentation, and Zeynep, and our Libyan colleague. I would like to answer about Zeynep's question about is there any TTO in Libya? Yes. We can say yes, but recently we closed the Libya Up project. The aim of this project to establish a TTO in Libyan University. Technology in general in Libyan University is still at the beginning. We need more support in this project or other project to how to encourage Libyan University to establish or to transfer technology from the university to the market. That's why, as a Professor Volkan, he said, there is a big difference. I think in Libya, we have difference between East and South for TTO aims or TTO. What's the technology? For example, in my city, located with Zawiya University, we are TTO. We are focusing to the oil sector, to refinery, because we have the biggest refinery here, and we have board. We encourage TTO to transfer technology in this side. Can I say that like a farm, we are according with natural what we have in land, and then in this TTO before it's established for just with Libyan University whole as a partner in Libya Up project. Our ministry in higher education ministry make a decision to make a TTO, to establish TTO in all Libyan university. Now we are at the beginning point. We have some colleagues from Libyan University now from from in this training who are as a part on TTO or office in university. And thank you. That's it. And it's very good presentation to learn how to establish and how it does work in TTO.
We like to have as much as we can. But I see also a question from Ahmed Abu Aisha. They ask for some drafts. We can share it. The problem is I have a different draft for US collaboration. I have a different draft for British collaboration. I have a different draft for collaboration with Netherlands, and I have several different drafts for Turkish type of industrial collaboration. So I'll rather answer some questions because most of them, they have legal clauses which are specific either to the topic in hand or to the general laws governing in the country itself. But we can provide some general guidance anytime. Just write me. I think I left my email address at the end of the talk. I can send it through the chat again.
Thank you. And I will also ask you later on to have your slides so we can share it with the audience. And I see there is another question from our colleague, Dr. Ali Ganoun from the University of Tripoli.
Thank you, Martina. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you, Professor Volkan, for your interesting presentation. Just I would like to have, if you can summarize, how you manage the income of the TTO office in your university. Is there specific regulations for the
think of it as a small company. We do like every small company does. We take the cash flow as a king, and we try to manage our cash flow. Like I said, most of our revenue comes from small cuts we get from industrial collaboration projects. And therefore, our main aim was to make sure that the total budget of those collaboration projects increases. We tried to do it, we were successful, but in order to keep it better, like I said, we took the brand name of the university. This is specific to Boğaziçi University right now. And we tried to establish more international research projects as much as we can because of the exchange rate issues. And also, for example, it is very easier for a European or for a American company to sign off on a $50,000 research projects than much easier to take the equivalent of it from a Turkish industrial resources. The manager, the middle level manager signs off on in United States for that projects. The high level manager signature is required in Turkey. So this was a balancing act. We had to let go with some of the small projects. We tried to send them towards the university side, where the university, like grant management side on the university. So we focused on large international and also local type of projects. It helped a lot in terms of cash flow. Right now we are positive, and to be honest, the Turkish Scientific and Technological Research Council provided some seed funding during the establishment phase until we had enough projects, internal revenues to support also. And it was until 2 years ago. They stopped 2 years ago. Since 2 years, we're supporting ourselves. I don't know whether it helped or not. And also, this year, we start providing more educational services for fee.
Thank you.
I see there is also a raised hand from my own colleague in Unimed, Laurence Pastorini. So please, Laurence.
Thank you, Martina. Can you hear me?
A bit low, but yes.
Okay. Thank you, Martina, and thank you, Volkan. In fact, I have two questions. Volkan, you mentioned several times that the TTO gives opportunities to students, and I wanted to know if it's only dedicated to PhD students or if it's target all the bachelor and master degree students.
All students, and Lawrence.
Okay.
All students. There are several student clubs, especially for undergraduate students within Boğaziçi University. We try to work with them and try to promote. We tell them, we're here to help you. If you have an idea and you want to do your own work, if you want to start a startup after you graduate, come and see us. They come and see us. In the next year or so, we try to do it in a more organized way. We have a small center called Dreambu. I didn't talk about that, but the location has been used for something else right now by the university management. It was a good area where to catch all, especially undergraduate students. we don't work, we don't need to do anything for the PhD students, for the graduate students. They come to us because they know we're there through their professors or through other resources. But we have to do lots of awareness activities for the undergraduates. And they become, indeed, they become very, very potentially entrepreneur. They come with entrepreneurship spirit early on.
Thank you. Dream is a very nice name for this. And one question or one suggestion maybe for the Libyan colleagues, and because just a parenthesis, because we are working on the local trainings for that will be done by Libyan colleagues with the research center. And what do you think of maybe introducing a session between a working session between the research center and the member of the TTO? Because I don't know if the member of the TTO in the Libyan universities are the same or not as in the research center, but it would be a good occasion during the local training to make the TTO office, if it's already in place, with the research center to know how you can make the bridge that was mentioned by Volkan, and to know how to explore the possibility to develop the collaboration with the social economic environment in your city.
I didn't understand. I understood the TTO side, but what's the other side?
The other side is the research center, because in our Libyan Ibtikar colleagues for the moment, they are the research center, and Ibtikar works mainly with research center, research and consultation center. And now they have created the TTO office. So maybe it could be, and our colleagues have to organize the training session in their local universities. And I was asking to maybe
We'll be happy to do so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. But also for at Libyan level with the TTO and the research center. I think it would be a good opportunity.
Okay.
Okay.
Then
Yes,
Can I add?
of course. Yes.
Yeah, no. I was going to say you want to have some sort of interaction between the TTO and the research center, and well, we can talk about it and then arrange something accordingly afterwards, because we're running out of time, and then we can talk about it afterwards.
An example, and Lawrence, I mentioned briefly in passing the Eurotech University, which is a European collaboration. Over there, TTOs are sitting on the side, practically watching what's going on, and they communicate within themselves in order to promote that will come out of that Eurotech. And it involves 3 or 4 different research centers as well in different parts of Europe. So we'll be more than happy to do so. Indeed, we do it within Boğaziçi University. We work with, for example, Health Sciences Center within the Boğaziçi University, or with Microalgae Center in the different campus. That's much easier than working with specific academicians, to be honest, because they provide more value to the table as all organized within the center.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for. I see there is another raised hand. Ahmad?
Do I have enough
yes.
time afterwards?
Yeah,
Yes, yes, you will.
Yes, my question to Mr. Volkan. How can TTO offices to be linked with stakeholders or labor market, and how can student project be transferred into products, we can say that, and can be marketed and to create small company like startup or spin-off or etc. And what's different actually, because I don't understand right which is different between startup company for small and spin-off for student or
well, the difference mainly is spin-off is some activity that's coming off from a different activity. Startup is something that starts from nothing. But that's a loaded question. I wish I had more time to answer, but that's a very short definition. For example, it's a spin-off from a research center, but if it's a student, single student, his or her own idea, it's a startup.
Yes, other question about how can transfer linked with stakeholder student projects. There's any role or like this?
We don't provide
want-
direct support to student projects. We try to find
Yes.
external resources for them to use to conduct their projects. We don't have enough financial resources to do that. I don't know if I answered, but
There is
Yes, thank
another
you.
question. Then I think we'll have to pass the word to Zeynep.
Yeah. I
Yes,
have to go
Dr.
too.
Mohammed. Yeah. Okay.
yes.
Dr. Mohammed. Yeah.
Yes. When we've been in Bogazici University, I think in particular, chemistry department, we have seen PhD students, they work on their own project. I think it is funded by industry. And the work of the student they do related somehow to industry and funded by the industry. I think they have been working on fibers or something like that, if you remember, Zeynep.
Yes.
We saw them in chemistry department. I think cooperation between the industry and academic institutions by implementing such a work, PhD work for students, I think it is essential part for a TTO project.
Can I add something here? Because Volkan
please.
Özgüz wouldn't know.
I didn't understand.
No, okay, I'll
really
tell
good.
you. When they came to visit Boğaziçi University last May, they visited some of most of the labs and PhD labs, and the people we're talking about are Ersin Acar,
Yes.
Ersin Acar
Yes.
students, and Ersin is working directly with the industry, and the industry is giving the money or the payment to the students,
Yes.
like their employees.
Yes.
Is he in touch with you? I'm pretty sure Ersin is
Yes.
in touch.
One thing to say, the industry doesn't pay the student, we pay them. The industry give us the money, we employ them. Since we are a corporation, we can employ students, and we pay them through the resources that comes from the industry within that project. So they are hired for that project as a potential researcher, and then we provide them their salary for that.
Great, I learned something new as well.
And
now.
this way they are protected legally, they can provide health services, everything, all the protection that a typical worker can get from any company.
Great, thank you.
And we protect also their intellectual property. That's why I said, you know, for industrial agreements, not one agreement is the same as the other. Each type is different. For this case, all intellectual property is protected, and they belong to the student, to the researcher, and to the university itself.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for your time and for sharing your experience and the work of your office. I think it has been very interesting, and also it raised some points and it provided some inputs to our Libyan colleagues. We'll shift to the other topic of the conversation.
If you excuse me, I gotta go. Thanks, Martina.
Yes,
Thanks,
thank you
Zeynep
for your
for
time.
arranging this. And have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good continuation of your time. Zeynep, now the floor is yours for the second part of this presentation. So I don't want to take extra time.
That last question was excellent, because now they could see how the people they met in the lab are being supported by the technology transfer office, which I didn't know about. I didn't know exactly how they were getting paid. So that was a very relevant question. I'd like to share my screen now. Most of you know me. I'm Zeynep. Okay, and I'm going to say share. Oh, okay. This is the web page. Okay, of Office of International Relations. There are different names we give to it. And I'm going to talk about this office. Okay, International Affairs Office. So let me put myself aside. I'm going to try to do something. I think I have. Can you see the whole screen, the whole page? Okay.
Yes, we see the whole presentation. Very good.
Okay, that's great. So I see you as well, so I don't want to see all of you. I don't know how to get you out. Okay, let me just start. Just as my previous colleague has mentioned, there's always some mission and the vision on the internet, on all the offices that work at the university. The idea here, I'll leave this on my presentation, but this is to facilitate global engagement, close cultural exchange, international partnership, big words. What they actually do in this international office, International Affairs Office, I'm going to talk about as International Office, and Boğaziçi University will be BU in short for the rest of the talk. Okay, what they do is they deal with the international students. In other words, briefly, foreign students or Turkish origin, but coming from foreign countries, outside countries to Boğaziçi University, or our students going abroad to study. Okay, so it's the incoming and outgoing students that are the main concern of the international office. The registration office deals with the registration of all of the students, including the international ones, but the registration office does not deal with their applications, etc. So what we have, the mission is to facilitate this global engagement, how they come to the university, to our university, how we send them abroad. I'm not going to read the whole thing because this is on their webpage as well. There is a vision as well. We want to be dynamic, leading force in advancing Boğaziçi University's presence in the world, etc. But as I said, these are the big words, which are absolutely right. But I just want to talk about how they work. I'll show you their organizational chart, okay? There is, I hope you can see, there is a coordinator. And then under the coordinator, there are institutional coordinators for certain programs, such as Erasmus. Mevlana is another program. I hope you can read it. Mevlana is a Turkish program, which means it's like Erasmus, but it is the exchange of students within the Turkish universities or other universities. Don't worry. Well, it works the same way as Erasmus. There is a chief administrative officer and a global arts research coordinator. Their names are given at the end. Okay. There are, so what we do have, I cannot see. Erasmus trains independent researchers. There is an advisor for Erasmus and trainees. There's an advisor for exchange programs. You're going to say, isn't Erasmus an exchange program? Well, not exactly, not in our not in our university. There is the Erasmus financial advisor because Erasmus has got its own budget. Erasmus financial advisor, students and staff budget. Our friend here might be able to help me out if you have any questions later on. There is incoming students, exchange, Erasmus visitor students. There is outgoing students, an advisor for outgoing students. Incoming students are coming into Boğaziçi University. Outgoing students are going from Boğaziçi University abroad, any other country. So there is an advisor for them as well. There's an advisor for incomings, so they are different. So the office operation is, we've got, this is just more or less the same thing. There's the administration, there's the agreements office, there's the incoming office, there's the outgoing office. Don't assume that there are hundreds of people working there. Just as in the TTO, we have a handful of people working with great care and dedication. Administration, budget office, and then, we've got the same sort of thing, okay? The administration, I think I've written the same thing twice. I'm going to change that later on, sorry about that. Office administration, consulting degree students, resident permits transactions, because students come to Turkey, they need to reside as residents at the university in Turkey. And this is all done for students coming in, faculty members traveling abroad and coming in. And there is also staff exchange with the other universities, okay? So what do? The first thing starts with agreements office. We have to have an agreement with the university that we're going to send students to, or students that are going to come from, okay? I don't know, University of Salento or somewhere like that. The agreements are the starting points for the whole exchange process. For the agreements of exchange, and exchange is anything other than Erasmus or Erasmus plus programs. The countries, the universities that are not included in the Erasmus programs, we call them exchange, okay? Exchange programs. There is quite a few things. Okay, let me, I just need to do something because I cannot see the whole page when I go to, okay, just 1 second because I don't, okay, agreements office, okay. There is, why did I go that way? I don't know, agreements office. When you sign off an agreement with a university, the agreement could be between two universities, Boğaziçi University and, I don't know, Radboud University. The agreement could be between two departments, chemistry department of a certain university and the chemistry department of another university, saying that, okay, we agree to exchange students, we agree to accept 3 students from you per year, and we will send you 3 students in return. Sometimes the numbers might not be equal, but nevertheless, this is how the agreements, the quota for incoming and outgoing students are determined by these agreements, and they have to be renewed or confirmed by the agreement office each year. So this year I send you 2, but I didn't like the students you sent to me, so I'm going to change the quota, and I'm only going to send you 1, and I'm going to accept 1 from you, or vice versa, the other way around. The students you sent to me were so good, please send me more, okay? And I'll do the same in exchange for your, new number. So these have to be agreed upon every year, more or less every year, especially with the agreements, with the exchange program universities. Okay, so as I said, it could be between the departments, it could be in general between the universities, and then even then the university might say, I only want science students, or I only want social sciences, or this sort of blah blah students. The agreements can be made either in undergraduate degree or graduate level. Both are possible. There is also the agreement to send staff or faculty members, okay? But I generally will talk about the university students here. And these are examples to exchange program partners and Erasmus partners. Erasmus partners obviously come from the Erasmus office, etc. We do exchange students between all these countries, okay? They come to our university and we send our students to them. As you can see, for example, Singapore is not part of the Erasmus project, or Switzerland as well. Singapore is included in the exchange program partners. India, Japan, we have close interactions with the Japanese universities. Lebanon is one of them, Russian Federation, Canada, etc. All these are the exchange program partners, and there's also the Erasmus partners. The incoming student service works on, well, with these titles, let's say, nomination application, application submission, application. These are for the students coming to our university. Monitoring, approval, tuition payments, pre-arrival, etc. Let me just go into more detail about these. What happens with the nomination? This office is responsible for managing the nominations from other universities, okay? These are applications of short-term international students. We're not talking about long-term students, the university students that come to Boğaziçi University to have a degree after 4 years, or for graduate studies, maybe after 6 years or whatever. This office is mainly dealing with the short-term incoming students, like 1 term, 2 terms, etc. Each university has its own placement regulation. So each university has its own regulation that they decide upon before they send their students to us. So the students for exchange or Erasmus programs must be nominated by their home universities. So I cannot say, please send me Ahmet for this term. They have to say, I'm sending you Ahmet for this term because we decided he is the right person or she is the right person. We've nominated that person, okay, chosen. They do that at the moment, they do it via email. They send us the list or the names of the students. There are, they can apply, these students from other universities can apply to exchange, Erasmus, or free mover, as we call visitor, as I use visitor, okay? This is different from exchange and Erasmus, okay? Because these people will have to pay. Visitor students contacting visiting student advisor because they're all requested to apply. They are also evaluated by us, by the incoming applications. And what happens is the international office, once these students are nominated to us, creates an account for each student in our system, sends them a link to the online application system. It's something like this, just to show you the system. They enter this system, they provide us with their personal data, contact and address, etc., application form, photo, statement of purpose, transcript, letter of recommendation, proof of language, etc. All are done. Once the nominated names come to us, we provide them with this system so they can go in and apply, okay, once we know their names. So they do this via this online application system. The profile is created by this automation system at Boğaziçi University. So they can apply. Each application goes through a check by the international office that everything is in order. All the documents are present and correct, etc. The office can send back the application or for a revision because they might say your picture isn't up to date. It's a 3-year-old picture. You know, I'm just joking, but it could be that. Or they can say your transcript isn't the recent one or something like that. So once the revision is done, the student can reapply with the corrected version. Okay, the application evaluation is not done by the office. The applications are forwarded to the respected academic departments. The department is going to decide whether to accept an incoming student or not. Okay, sometimes during this process as well, the department might want a revision, and then the office again sends it back and asks for a revision from the student. Monitoring, if the application is returned, as I said, the office sends it back, and then when the revised application is submitted, the office forwards it to the department, relevant department. The approval process is done by the academic department and faculty or the graduate institute, and then the international office submits the application to the registrar's office. The final case, registrar office is going to be dealing with the grading, the courses to be taken, etc., etc. Because this is when the acceptance procedure is completed and everything is prepared. Well, once the student is accepted by the department before, or at the same time as sending the information to the registrar's office, the international office sends them out an acceptance letter to the student, okay, saying, yes, you've been accepted, please come and stay with us for the next term or the term afterwards, etc. And then the students have to pre-register through the university central system. So up to here, the international office is in charge, and then the university takes over, the registration office takes over. Tuition payments by visitor. Okay, exchange students pay their tuitions to their own universities. If somebody's coming from America, from the United States, they pay their tuition to their university and come and stay with us without paying us tuition. Or our students, we don't have any tuition in our university, but students can pay to us and then go and study at the American university, for example. Erasmus students do not pay anything. They have a certain different arrangement. But if there is a visitor student, which is a freelance student who wants to come, for example, from a Libyan university, which we don't have any agreements with at the moment, a Libyan university student could send in an application through their university, or they can apply individually, I think. If they're accepted, they have to come and pay, okay? Because this is not part of the exchange program. This is a freelancer, free work, you know, somebody who decides to come to the university and so on. If they're instructed to send the receipt showing they have made the payment so that they can come and study with us. Pre-arrival, okay, I won't get into details. I'm going to leave this on the, because we have more to discuss. The office, the international office, provides the information for international students. How are they going to come? How are they going to get their residence permit? General inquiries, okay, and the office helps them with all that. And a month before the semester begins, they provide an online pre-arrival orientation session where there's, you know, visa and resident permit issues are discussed, etc. So this is pretty important because they must have the right visa and they must have the resident permit. Before the registration, there's an orientation day held online, okay, brief history of the university, online tour of the campuses, etc. Once they come, they are actually given more tours of the university, okay? And also there are advice on procedures in case of emergency, how to get in touch with, who to get in touch with if they require assistance, etc. There is an extension section on student residence permit application procedures, registration procedures, how to select courses, etc., etc., followed by a presentation by the European Student Network. We have a good group. They help the incoming students with all that and with their social activities. So basically, the office accepts all the applications, checks them out, makes sure that everything is in order, sends them to the relevant right departments, and then once the departments are okay with it, you know, unless there is some revision to be made, etc., and then the office sends the welcome letter to the student, and then gives more information on what to do when they arrive, how to get the visa, how to get the residence permit, etc. So, all the essential things. Support during the semester is also provided by the international office. What they do, for example, withdrawal is awful. Okay, some students might withdraw from some of the courses they've taken. They don't know how to do it. Everything is done online. So the office provides this sort of information or guidance, but also on emotional concerns, because sometimes students face crisis, and it's the best place to go for them is the international office, so they can be directed in the right direction to go either to see their advisors or to go and see a doctor or something else. Transcripts are well, at the end of the semester, the international office receives the transcripts of these students, and sends them off to their home universities, because the universities want to follow up on their on how they do at our university. And there is also, at the end of each semester, students are sent a survey asking about their academic and social experiences, so that we get suggestions for improvements. Well, all of this was for incoming students, because we have a lot of incoming students, but we also have a large number of outgoing students. And again, similar things, but some of them are not done by our international office. Outgoing students going from Boğaziçi to another university for a term or 2 terms, depending on the agreement. They apply, they're placed, they're nominated, pre-departure transactions, after mobility transactions, documentation, etc. For the exchange program students, these are the students that are not in the Erasmus project universities, okay? Erasmus project apply using the automation. Exchange students use our automation system. They apply, they go in and they say, they put in their names, and then we evaluate them. So we have an application site. For Erasmus programs, however, students apply using a central platform created by the Turkish National Agency. This is not us. All the students from all the Turkish universities apply for Erasmus programs using this Turkish National Agency, and that's the email, the address Erasmus başvuru is application, ua.government.tr, etc. So we don't take their applications. For selection, what we do once everybody is applied, the selection is done by the university, by our university. There is some sort of a program. It's not sort of, there's a program, which calculates a lot of values put in there, okay? These include the GPA, grade point average of the student, English language grade, how well is the student, I mean, although the lectures at Boğaziçi University are in English, they still have to take a English exam and then show their, like TOEFL, they have to show their score. And all these are calculated, and students are then placed in order, or the top ones go to the top, etc. Then, after all these calculations, the students are then nominated to the partner institutes by the outgoing student advisor. Just as the other students were nominated to us, we now only nominate our students to the partner institutions, okay? And then they have a procedure which I believe is very similar to us. The students are getting accepted or not accepted, revisions might be made, etc. So this is what we do for the outgoing students. What happens with the budget office is the budget office, as I said, we don't give anything to an exchange student. The exchange student is on his own. Just once he or she gets accepted, pays his or her tuition to Boğaziçi University, and then, with all the right procedures, leaves to go to the other university. There's nothing we give to that person. He or she provides the budget by the family or by some company or whatever. We don't have any saying in that. However, the budget office in the international office controls and reports to the Erasmus budget, which is not in our hands. We receive a certain from the Turkish National, the one that I talked about, Turkish National Agency. There is a certain amount, a budget coming from them, and then we have to divide it between the students that are going to go away that term or the term after. So what they do, the budget office in the international office determines that, carries out the pre-departure transactions, deals with the grant payments for outgoing Erasmus students, because students get a certain payment per month. Incoming students, exchange students and incoming Erasmus students do not pay tuition at all, no, okay. incoming visitor students, like the ones I said, you know, somebody might be coming from a Libyan university. That student, a visitor student, has to pay $3,500 tuition per semester if that person decides to come and gets accepted. Outgoing exchange students do not receive a grant, but they don't pay tuition, and the others receive a grant, as I said, provided by Turkish National Agency. These are basically the main things, okay? And of course, there is also the staff exchange, again, nominations, etc., faculty exchange, which is dealt by the international office. Our international office helps them out with their paperwork. So if anybody is interested, but I thought the main thing at this stage would be to tell you about the student exchange and what the international office does with the student exchange procedures. There are some, at the end of my talk, there are some email addresses or web addresses, the website of International Boğaziçi, etc. You can get in contact with, you can write to these people. A couple of them are with us, as I said today. You can write and ask if you have main questions, any questions which you might not be able to ask today. I don't know how much time we've got. But basically, this is it. And I'll stop sharing. I'm hoping I was clear enough with the outgoing and incoming students and what the main purpose of our international office is, okay? Main purpose to deal with the paperwork, etc., and the details of the incoming and outgoing students. Thank you for listening. I hope I was clear.
Thank you, Zeynep. It was very clear and it was very interesting. Thank you for sharing your experience and what the office does and how to manage the mobility from a different perspectives and including all the different aspects which occur when it comes to students' mobility. We are perfectly on time, and there is still if someone wants to ask any question to our own Zeynep, please feel free to take the floor.
Your own Zeynep, yeah.
Yes, you're our own Zeynep. We feel like we are from, you know, in a way we are from the same team, different institutions, but we feel like we can say our own. Thanks for providing also in your presentation some contacts, which may be also useful to our Libyan colleagues in case they have questions at a later stage.
May I say something? I've just noticed the writings in the chat, and you've mentioned Libyan universities are eligible in the Erasmus Plus program. It's just that we don't have any agreements with them. Okay, that's why they are not in the list that I have shown you, because there are obviously other universities as well, but the ones that we are in contact with, we are exchanging students with, were mostly, the countries were mostly the ones that I have shown you on the list. That doesn't mean we won't have any, you know, agreements later on, but we have to first be in contact, okay?
Yeah, and if I'm not wrong, well, we are waiting for the next call of the Erasmus Plus programs in terms of capacity building. But if I'm not wrong, and maybe Anurans can confirm, also the new call for the international credit mobility is about to be launched. So that might also be a starting point for engaging in a conversation with your university as well and see whether there is an opportunity for mobility in their service. I see two raised, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, questions.
Yeah, I see two raised hands. So, Dr. Mohammed, I will give you the floor first.
Hello.
Hello.
Zeynep, are you keen to sign agreement between Turkish and Libyan universities?
That is not up to me. Perhaps Ece might be able to answer questions. How do they start doing it, Ece? Do you have any idea how to start an exchange, an agreement procedure with Libyan universities?
Mm-hmm. Yes, certainly we can arrange that, but for any new agreement, they the university administration, I think it is same for all universities, also for Libyan universities. It has to start on the academic between departments. Zeynep Hanım has mentioned in her presentation, for example, chemical department to chemical, chemistry department to chemistry department, for example. So the best way is if academicians from one university are in touch with the other university, if there is this lead, our international office can proceed with the agreement. Otherwise, we have seen in the past, if the agreement is on paper, if nobody is using that, so it's not desirable. In the past, we had agreements like that. So
another thing is,
yeah.
Can I just add something, Ece? It's also possible for your president or rector of the university to be in touch with the administrator, the rector or vice rector of our university, and say, we're happy to be doing this exchange via the Erasmus Plus program. How would you consider that? And then it could be done for all the departments, or maybe again for selected departments. But it would be probably more more easy if it starts from high level, and then see if the university administration is willing to go into that. One thing I would suggest is you could use the UNIMED contacts via this, because you would see them at the meetings. You know, our rector joins the meetings, for example, and your rector could talk to them and see if we could proceed with something like that. How about that, Martina, right? These are all possible.
I see Onurans has her raised hand, so maybe she wants to comment on this.
Okay.
Yes,
Actually,
I just wanted to say the same thing from you, Zeynep, but also I think we can take...
We cannot hear more. Shout.
Sorry. Better like this? Or not? No, I'm sorry.
It's a bit louder, but still
A problem with my mic. I don't know. I just wanted to say the same thing that you mentioned, Zeynep, that we can try to arrange, but I think we can also take advantage of Ibtikar, because we already have some experience, and you have some experience between and the Turkish and you, Bogazici.
What I meant wasn't that you get involved. I meant to say they could use the meetings.
Of course, we can use a meeting, absolutely. And one of the tasks that we already imagined for the last work package of Ibtikar should be the reflection on agreements between the European partners and the
absolutely.
So it's already here in our mind. So because we have to explore also the ICM opportunity, and to give you know, another life after Ibtikar lifetime. So
yeah, absolutely.
The ICM should be the best opportunity, because we can send one academic and one researcher to the European universities, and the Libyan could invite and receive and welcome some European colleagues. So it will be the starting point, and like AJ said, that we have to start little by little. So by individual and reduced experience, we can then upgrade the collaboration. So yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know, Dr. Mohammed, if you wanted to add something.
No, I just wanted to say, when being in Turkey a couple of months ago, I have spoken with Isha and Zeynep about the possibility of signing agreement between Sergio University and Bogazici University. What I had understood that there should be agreement directly between the departments. Is it true? What I heard from you, Zeynep, a little while ago, I think you asked it to start from the high level and go down.
No, both are possible, but it's also possible to start at the high level, because one other thing is, for students to come to Boğaziçi University, they have to have a certain English level as well. okay, because all the lectures are in English in our university. And one other thing is, one should, you know, I mean, I don't know, because I'm not the head of department at the moment. Once you write to us, okay. At the moment, the administration has changed so much. I think maybe the dean of a faculty that has the department that wants to do an agreement should be in contact with the dean of our faculty, okay? Why don't you suggest that and see what departments are interested, and then write to the faculty, and then we can proceed from there onwards, okay? Because the department, the administration has changed a lot in the recent 2 years. So I would suggest to start off with the deans at least, okay? Because anything we take to the dean, that would be rejected because they will say they should have written to us. So this is I don't know how to proceed at this stage. So I would suggest a dean to dean correspondence would be the best. Is that okay?
Yeah, just the regulation here in Libya, the dean has a right to write abroad. All of the international communication should be implemented through the International Cooperation Office.
Okay, you could do that. Write to send a letter saying that the universities, so-and-so departments are interested, and then see how that proceeds, because I don't know how it works here either. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. There should be some correspondence that we can follow. I think there is a question by Fauzia.
Yeah, there is another. Yeah. Fauzia, please, you can speak
Hello,
up.
everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for this nice presentation and useful information. Can you hear me very well?
Yeah, very well.
Okay, you have talked about freelance students.
Mhm.
Okay, are there any parameters for those students, regulations, something like that? Because right now we don't have cooperation, and most of the students are looking for work to study in different countries, and one of these countries is Turkey.
Can I make two things very clear? First of all, the visitor student, freelance students can only come and stay with us for 1 term or 2 terms, okay? Depending on what the department says. They can say just 1 term, they can say 2 terms, right, Ece? Or Mesut might say something, but anyway. And it's not, you don't get a degree out of it. You simply come and visit us for a term or 2 terms, as I said, or summer term maybe. If it's a degree program that your students are searching for, they have to go through different channels. That is not what the international office does. They have to go and apply to the university for a 4-year degree, for example, as an undergraduate, or a PhD degree. What I'm going to do, give me 2 seconds, if I can. Okay, may I just share my screen one more time? I know we've overpassed our time, but I'm just going to share my screen. This is the international office thing, BU homepage. When you go to the homepage, let's go to English. There is the candidates part on the Boğaziçi University website. When you go to the candidates, non-degree candidates, can you see this screen? Okay. On that page, there's non-degree candidates, which is like exchange, special students. Special students is something, well, maybe it's that as well. Students click on those. Ece, do you know which one it is? Or does Mesut know which one is for non-degree, the visitor students? Maybe special student, yeah. Who can apply, etc. Free mover or visitor student application. It's all written there. I'm not really sure. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So I'm going to go back.
This section is better for degree-seeking students from the web main page. For this free mover visiting students, it is better to use the international office's webpage that you have just shown.
Okay, they can go to that and then see what the regulations are. They have to have a certain amount of knowledge of English, good amount of knowledge of English, and also good GPAs. The departments will not just accept anybody, even for one term in their classes. So please try or get in touch with us and see, or write to the international office and see which websites would be best to follow and what sort of information is more important, etc. Is that okay?
Okay, thank you so much. But one more thing, can you send
Yeah?
your email so we can contact with you if there are extra questions or something like
Oh,
that?
yeah, certainly. But you can also, if you have specific questions for the international office, which one should they write to, Ece?
The page you shared was
Yeah.
great.
Okay, I'm going to share my presentation anyway. Once you get my presentation, you'll see there is a list of emails at the end, and whichever is more interesting for you, outgoing, incoming, blah, blah, you can write to that person as well, because although I've presented everything, they are more in command of all the things that are going on. I'm just the messenger at the moment, okay? Of course, I would answer your email, but I would usually forward your email to the right person in the international office. Yeah, so you can directly write to them and they will definitely get back to you. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Zeynep, and all the colleagues for International Relations Office for providing us with guidelines and support and who to write and how to do. I think it should be followed up, as Dr. Mohammed said, and as my colleague Laurence reinforced, that through the project, we have to reflect on what to do after. It should be a starting point for something else, not just the end of one cooperation arrangement, but the starting point for others. So we shall exploit all the opportunities and jointly think what can come next. Through the Erasmus Plus program, if opportunities are out there, but also through cooperation agreements between the universities of the consortium, and we will jointly reflect on how to make the best out of these years of cooperation that we have built together. If there are no further questions, we took even longer than expected, and we took much time from you, Zeynep, and your colleagues. But thank you for all the time and the sharings and the conversation we had today. Thanks for our Libyan colleagues for joining.
Thank you very much.
We have, thank you so much. We have notified our friends
Thank you.
for a bit of a change compared to the, sorry, I hear another voice. Yes, for a bit of a change compared to the calendar for next week. So we'll have basically 2 days next week. We'll have our own Ibtikar session on next Wednesday, and then the session from the European Commission exactly on the new call for the Erasmus Plus on November 30th, so next Thursday. So thank you so much for being with us today. Thanks for your time, Zeynep, and all the colleagues who joined us. I will be stalking you for a little while in the next days to get the presentations and your contacts and share it with our Libyan colleagues. I will be keeping writing to our Libyan trainees and colleagues for all the resources and the next appointments. So you have to be patient with all my emails, but I'm very happy to have the time together this week as well. And wish you a good continuation of your day and a good weekend, since the weekend is approaching for you all. Thank you so much. See you next week.
Bye.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch.
Goodbye.
We'll stay in touch.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
And thank you, Ecen Mesut, for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we'll be in touch, Martina. I'll send you.
Absolutely.
There's something I have to correct on my presentation.
No
on my
worries.
device.
No worries.
I'll do that. Okay, and then send it to you. Okay. Take
Thank you
care.
so much. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Goodbye,
You too.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.